Hello everybody, this is Maniac4Bricks, and I'm here today with set number 70904, Clayface Splat Attack from the Lego Batman movie. Released in 2007, has 448 pieces, includes 2 minifigures, and this originally retailed for about $35 in the United States. This is actually a pretty interesting set compared to some of the other ones in the wave because most of the set is actually just a buildable figure of Clayface. And Clayface himself hasn't actually been represented in Lego form, at least officially, up to this point. So it is nice to see all these different browns being used throughout the set to really put the thing together. And I really do like, even though it is a big repeated part in the set, these 2x2 round plates to give the clay and kind of this sludge-like feel to the entire figure. It really does look good all the way around. Which is something really to say for a Lego set because sometimes the back doesn't look as great. You can see a little bit of gap in there, but it's okay because the head is on a ball joint, so you could also move it back a little bit more. So I'm not going to dismiss it for that. Now, there is a interesting look for his face in the front, which you can actually change a few times in the set. You can't really move the mouth upward to make any different expression there, at least it looks kind of creepy that way. But you can change the eyes and how they're oriented just by moving these pieces, which are printed on each side. So it does give a little bit more expression to him, kind of a more scared look here. But that's really it as far as moving around any facial expressions on him. I think the rest of it you would just have to rebuild and use your imagination with that, which is a little bit unfortunate. I do like how some of the teeth are looking crooked on his mouth though, and just the shape of it just seems very Clayface. I would say that I also like that the posable features in here actually do hold together pretty well. Like you don't have them falling over or anything like that. And the combination of ball joints and fixed joints, add into some posability so that you can put this up for a nice display somewhere with some other Batman sets. You get 2 of these arms in the set, which have the same play feature and roughly the same build, and they just shoot out these little stud shooters, pretty common feature, and is something that you do see in the movie where he shoots out these little bits of clay to trap people. And it seems appropriate to have it in the set too. Just a quick little play feature that seems to work okay and doesn't seem too out of character. Then you have this giant hammer, which you can turn around and use just by moving the arm up and down. There's not really like a slamming kind of action with it unless you just move the arm fast enough. But it still looks pretty good for Clayface. You just simply take it off by the ball joint on here to fix either of these, and you can even fit the other one on the other side if you really wanted to. I did think, this is actually, it's been a while since we've actually had a buildable figure in a system, assembly that hasn't had a claw hand. There usually is one that you can hold a figure in one of the hands. But instead, we just have Mayor McAllistill? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Mayor McAskill, the character that's voiced by Ryan Carrot. You know the one. You see her for like a few seconds in the beginning of the movie. Honestly, I don't remember her that much throughout the movie. But anyways, she has her own little platform that gets, sludged or slimed. If you can fit any minifigure in there. There's just enough space for 2 studs for an average minifigure. And the minifigure itself is good. I mean, again, there's really not much of her in the movie, so I can't really say that I really wanted her as a minifig. But it is nice to get that new hairpiece. It is nice to get some different skin tone for the minifig itself. And you also do have 2 facial expressions for her front to back. So it's nice to have an extra character in the Lego Batman movie and just in a DC setting in general. I believe you could fit this in with some other DC sets, just the set entirely, and it would work pretty well, even out of the Lego Batman movie context. There are a few things I would say that are not so great about the set, but before we get to that, I just wanted to mention that the Batman in this set is a pretty common one. At least, you can tell by some of the facial features here. it is something that I have seen several times in different Lego sets. If you don't have this version of Batman, well, here's one way you can get him, but there are plenty other ways you can get him as well. I wouldn't say get the set for the Batman. Most of the time, like Emmett from the Lego movie, you're going to have a dozen of these if you want to get the movie-related Lego sets. Now, as far as anything that's bad about the set, I would say, some of the posability, like the head only goes so far up. It does have some nice pieces in there and some new colors, but it doesn't really give you a lot to work with as far as moving the head into different poses. You're just a little bit to the sides and mostly going to sit out front. The shape of the body is good, but there is one thing I hated as soon as I saw the set pictures before the sets even came out. That was the stumpy legs. I really think that it's just more of a comedic stance for it. And I get it that he's Clayface, you can change his body. But why would you have these massive arms and have stumpy legs? It really just doesn't work for posability. I mean, granted, they are stiff joints, so you could actually pose him on one foot, albeit with a little bit of balance. Hold on. See if I can move the arms around. Okay, maybe you can't. And that's the problem. If you had a little bit more joints to the legs, you probably could get better posing with him. Okay, you can get a little bit better here, but most of the foot is actually standing up like that, so I don't think that's really going to help here. It's something that I've seen on buildable figures over time, and I've never really been a fan of when I have the stumpy legs, because leg posability is probably one of the biggest points about a buildable figure. Even the mechs from Ninjago movie have that lacking to some degree from what I've seen. So it really does stink that you don't really have that. And I would also say another thing that's bad, even though this has a lot of parts, it has a lot of, colorful parts that you don't find that often, especially like this much of this color. You don't find it that often in different Lego sets. There's really nothing else to build. There's really nothing else to do with this set. You have just the figures, main body, and just a couple accessories. But this is just basically a $30 Lego buildable action figure that I think even buildable action figures by Lego would have had more play features too, and better posability. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this set. One of the reasons I got this, it wasn't one of the first sets that I got from the Lego Batman movie, but one of the reasons I got it was just for a promo at Toys R Us, where if you spend about $30, you could get a Bat Pod for free. I'll talk about the Bat Pod at another time. I got this with 20% off, if I remember correctly, so it was a bit closer to $30 instead of the $35 retail price. But still, even with that in mind, I think there could have been more added here. And we'll see you next time with more LEGO videos. And thanks for watching.